Hello friends, today we come across with another team building session. I am introducing myself. I am Reshma S. Lucas.
I am Faslana.
I am Sophie Molbius.
So today we are discussing the topic reaction of metals. I think you all are familiar with metals, isn't it? So what's from the periodic table itself, we can say that majority of elements present in a periodic tables are metals. So today we are dealing with what are the reactions that can be accompanied with metals. Okay, first of all, we will go through the physical properties of metals. That is, it is shiny and it can be easily bent. That is a property called malleability, and it's a solid. We can't say most probably every metal is a solid, and an exception is there. Sodium is a soft metal, and so we can't say generalize that every metal is solid. There are certain assumptions in that case. And also another property of metal is good conductor of electricity, and it's very strong, and it has high melting and boiling point, and it could be drawn into wires, and it has high conductivity of heat, and it's dense, and it also produces sound when we hit on that substance. So these are the properties of metals, and now we will deal with the chemical properties of metals. That is reaction of metals with water. How here some metals react with chemically with cold water, some with hot water. So today now we are going to look on that how some metals react with cold water. Okay, you can see in the picture that metal react with water. What will form? Metal hydroxide and hydrogen gas will be liberated. So the example is that potassium with cold water, we will get what? Metal oxide, potassium hydroxide plus hydrogen gas. So this is the reaction of metal with water. So we can say that potassium highly react with cold water rather than hot water. Moving to the next slide. So this is a reaction of potassium with cold water. So here we can see that an aqueous potassium hydroxide is formed. That we have already mentioned that in the previous slide. And what is liberated? Hydrogen gas is liberated. And how can you can see that potassium dated on the surface of water, and what will form a hydrogen gas is formed, and it can be burned with what? It can be one if you will take something over that, and it will burn because there is the liberation of hydrogen gases occurred. So what happens? Red litmus changed to blue. And moving to the next slide. So here test for hydrogen gas. How we can test? Okay, what is here happening is that we have already told that we have put potassium on the water, and what is happening? Hydroxide, that is metal hydroxide, that is potassium hydroxide is formed, and also hydrogen gas is liberated, that we have already mentioned. So what is happening? When we give that burning thing to it, it will burn, because from that we can know that hydrogen gas is liberated, and it will produce a pop sound. That's it. And we will move on okay. And another thing is magnesium. We have told about potassium. Magnesium is also reacted with cold water, and the reaction is 2 Mg plus 2H2 gives 2 MgOH. That is metal hydroxide plus hydrogen gas. And in the case of zinc, the reaction is very low. Okay, next slide. So here we can see that how metals will react with cold water. I have already told you that every metal will not react that much with cold water. So there are certain metals that will vigorously react with cold water. The example is potassium, magnesium, and everything. But so zinc, iron, lead, copper, silver, they will not react with cold water. You should specifically look on that cold water. But potassium, sodium, calcium, they will vigorously react with cold water. And the thing for that, I am inviting the reaction with steam. For that, I am inviting Sophie Mol.
Yes. Here we see about the reactions with water, especially with cold water. Once again, I remember that the metals will react with cold water and hot water itself, but not as such as vigorous as cold water. Here we are going to discussing about reaction with steam. That is, metals are reacting with steam. In these slides or in this class, we can see the which are the metals that react with the steam and which are the metals that do not react with the steam. Okay, here some metals react chemically with hot water. That is always steam. So when the metal is combined with the steam, then the products are metal oxide plus hydrogen. In the metal react with water, we see that the products were metal hydroxide and hydrogen. When the metal react with the steam, the products are metal oxide and hydrogen. Okay, in the latest slide itself, we see that the test of hydrogen gas. Okay, this is the apparatus. This is the apparatus of a metal is a react with steam, and this is the common apparatus for this reaction. Metals like zinc and iron, example, magnesium with steam. The equation of the magnesium react with the steam is given below. That is, magnesium is solid in state, and water, we know that it is a liquid. In this case, we are using gaseous state, that is steam. Then we can see that the product will be metal oxide. So it is the metal magnesium. The product will be magnesium oxide and hydrogen. Next we are going to next slide. Okay, the reaction of the steam we have seen there. That is when metal is reacted with steam, the products were metal oxide, same in the water itself. So here is the reactivity series of the metals when it is reacted with the steam. Which are the metals where react very vigorously, very violently, and where there is no reaction with steam. Here we can see some differences that when the metals react with the cold water, some of the metals with reactive with the cold water do not react with the steam, and the metals react with the steam do not react with the cold water. Here we can see magnesium. Magnesium will violently react with the steam as well as in the water. It is seen only low reaction with the water. In the zinc, we know that in the zinc, the cold water, it does not react with the cold water, but in steam, it vigorously reacts. Then the iron is slowly react with steam. And lead, copper, silver, that there is no reaction with cold water and there is no reaction with steam also. So here we are going to discussing about the reaction of metals with acids. This is the most important reaction of metals, that we know that acids were very chemically explosive and very strengthful substances. Then how the metals were reacting with acids? Many metals react with acids. When this happens, the metal fizzes as bubbles are produced. What do the bubble means? Here the apparatus. When the magnesium is here, the apparatus, we can see that when in the test tube, there is some acid we have poured into it, and we have also put some magnesium into it. When we know that there is some bubbles are formed, and when lightning a stick and comes across with the test tube, the splint become splint. The splint become burns very in a pop sound. Okay, then what is this gas? And this gas is our hydrogen. In the metals react with the cold water and steam and acid. Have to remember that in the metals react, when the metals react with the cold water, steam and acids, the liberated gas will be hydrogen. Okay, how can we test to find out the gas in hydrogen that we saw in the our reaction with this metals in the with water itself? Okay, next we go to next slide. Let's move to next slide. please share the next slide.
I'm sharing that. Can you see that?
I can see. I can see.
Okay. Now we are all discussing about the reactions with metals, that is reactions with water, steam, and acids. These are we discussing. Next, we are going to discuss what is reactivity. What do you mean by reactivity? The rate at which a chemical substance tends to undergo a chemical reaction. Example, sodium is more reactive than iron. Sodium, when exposed to air, its shiny surface quickly tarnishes. Iron, when exposed to air, it slowly oxidizes and gets rusted. So that is reactivity. Next, we are going to move on to the order of metals, that is from least reactive to most reactive. The most reactive metal is potassium. The next one is sodium, and then calcium, magnesium, aluminium, carbon, zinc, iron, tin, lead, hydrogen, copper, silver, and gold, and platinum. The least reactive metal is platinum. The reactivity of metals is described as how electron atoms loses an electron. For instance, potassium is extremely reactive because it has only one valence electron. So it is very easy to lose it from being a positive ion. Whereas on the other hand, copper is a weakly reactive metal because it has more valence electrons. So it is harder for it to become a positive ion. Next, we are going to discuss about the applications. The position of the metals can be predicted by carrying out reactions using the reactivity series. That is, whether a metal belongs to most reactive metals, moderate reactive metals, or the least reactive metals. You can make predictions about the reactions of unfamiliar metals if you know their positions in the reactivity series. Example, use the reactivity series to predict whether manganese would react with copper sulfate solution. These are the applications. Now we are going to sum up what we have discussed in today's class. We discussed about the reactive metals, fairly reactive metals, and the unreactive metals. First of all, we discussed about the metals, that is potassium. We see the order of that least reactive from the most reactive metals. The most reactive metal is potassium and the least reactive one is platinum. Next, we are discussed about the reaction with water or steam. The reaction of metals with water or steam. The metals react with cold water, steam, and no reaction with either for lead, copper, and silver. Next, we discussed that reaction with dilute acids. In that, we discussed that explosive reactions, violent reactions, moderately fast reactions, slow reactions, and no reaction. The no reaction is for here also lead, copper, and silver, the unreactive metals. They are the unreactive metals. The mostly reactive metals are potassium, sodium, calcium. Fairly reactive metals are magnesium, zinc, and iron. Hydrogen gas is produced in all three reactions. Displacement of hydrogen is a redox reaction. H plus gained electron. Reactive metals tend to react with non-metals to form compounds. Unreactive metals have a greater tendency to remain uncombined. So that's all we are discussed today. Next, I'm going to give you a follow-up activity. If dilute sulfuric acid, the formula of dilute sulfuric acid is H2SO4 is used instead of dilute hydrochloric acid, HCl. Formula is HCl. For reaction with metals, Predict what you will observe and the products formed, if any. I think all of you understand the question. If dilute sulfuric acid is used instead of dilute hydrochloric acid, that means we are used dilute hydrochloric acid for replacement of hydrochloric acid for reaction with the metals. Then what will be the products formed, if any? Okay. Now all of you try to complete this question. And that's all for today's class. We are signing off. Thank you.